Okay, so today we're going to be working on the Electrolux heating element. We're going to actually turn it on real quick and see what it does. It turns on fine and everything, and it actually is working right now. But it keeps on pulling up a code. Okay, so now we just got a code of e64, and if you look it up, e64 is actually it's going to be your heating element or heating coil, and we're going to go ahead and pull it out. We're going to disconnect it and pull this thing out. I went ahead and ordered the heating coil, and this is what it looks like. Take a look and see what it looks like inside. You can see all the little heating packs in there, the coils and stuff. This is actually going to be ordered from Google. I just Googled it. The part number is right here. 134792700, and of course this is for the Electrolux dryer. You can actually look up the model number on the dryer, and it's usually going to be found right about there. It's very, very tiny. But just open your door and you should find the model number right there. Okay, we're going to go and take this out right now. Okay, so we got your power cord back here. We're going to go ahead and disconnect this. Your main power source. We've already pulled out the ventilation hose here. Looks like we're going to have to disconnect. We already disconnected this part from the wall. We're going to have to disconnect this in order to take the panel off. And there's here. Looks like we're going to have to take this top part off in order to take this panel off. And we got a couple of screws here holding it. And we're actually using a Phillips head for all the screws to take off. Of course, it just kind of slides out towards you. That pops right up, exposing the barrel there. Looks like we're going to have to take this top little panel thing off here in order to pop this off. So instead of taking the wiring off and all that stuff, we're actually going to just pop this up and lay it right there. It would be just out of the way. Continue taking out the screws. couple in the center, looks like here. Then it looks like we're gonna have to take off this cord here in order to pop off the panel. So we're gonna take this off and expose the wiring. You have your cord wiring to this right here, your power cord. So I'm gonna disconnect these wires here. And of course, they're real easy to actually see. Let me see if I can get some light in here. So you can see if you're afraid to be disconnecting any wires, they're actually color coded. So I mean, it's obvious. Red goes to red. Your white here goes to white, and then you have black with black right there. So it's not hard to miss. And then of course you have your loading ground, your green one over here. So you just got to pull out 4 of these screws to disconnect the wiring. Looks like we have a couple of bottom screws here way in the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So don't forget those ones in the bottom. So now this whole thing should be ready to just pop out. It should just come right through that little hole there, see? I forgot one screw in here. Let's see, one screw. There we go. And the whole thing is exposed. Put that there for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of clean up all this right here, because it does have a lot of lint. It's kind of dangerous, cause a fire or something. You can get kind of a brush and just kind of sweep that off, or kind of a wet napkin, or you can actually get a shop vac and just vacuum all that out. Okay, so now we have this back panel here also. It's kind of a ventilation thing that goes actually into the heater coil. We've got a screw up here on the top left, and then we're gonna have one down here at the bottom. See right there? Take that screw off. And that's gonna definitely be a sensor right here. Make sure you put that back when you're putting it all together. Screw down here. So there's 3 more screws inside the drum that we've got to take out, and they're actually going to be right there around the let's see, this is actually coming in from the back, from the bottom. This is that air vent thing that comes into the dryer to dry your clothes. So I take that 1, 2, and 3 off. We've got 3 in the front, 1, 2, and then 3 here. And then of course we had the one on the pipe here itself. We took that off. Now this one's actually really difficult to get to, but I actually managed to take it off already. And there's going to be a hidden screw in the back of the panel right here that attaches to this right here. So just to let you know, that one was a little pain in the butt to get to, but you can get to it. Okay, so now we're looking at the heating element itself, and we're actually going to look at the mount. Of course, down here we're going to have to clean up all this mess too. Get as much lint off as I can. But this is the heating element right there. And you can already tell just inside looking at it that the heating coils are already pretty burnt up. They look in bad shape. They're probably even touching each other. And the next thing we're going to do is actually take these mounts off. There's one over there and another screw on this side. That should take the whole thing out. And for this procedure, we're going to actually use a little stubby Phillips screwdriver, so we can easily access the screw back here. And once you take off these two screws, this whole mount should come off. So now we have this thing exposed. So here's the new one, and this is the actual old one. And what we're gonna have to do is take off this mount, of course, take off all these wiring and just change it over to this side. Which we're going to start doing right away. That way we don't lose any type of wiring or mess up any type of mix up wirings, you know. Take off these two here. As possible. Throw it on right here right away. Make sure these screws are on tight. It's not all wobbly or anything. It's good. Take this other one off. I use a screw gun, but I'm afraid to break anything with that damn thing, you know. So I'd rather manually just take it off. And these don't actually sit in the hole, it actually just right above the hole. If you can see how much space there is between there. That way you don't kind of freak out and say, how come it's not going in the hole? a little longer, but it's a little safer also. Believe me, I've had my share of breaking circuits and stuff with a drill, and you're having to replace these $30 little sensors and stuff. It's not worth it. Okay, so we got that. Looks like there's a ground wire on this side and a sensor. See it on this side there. Take this off and put it over there. Use my big pliers here just to take off a little bolt. Well, hell, can actually take this little thing off here and then just plug it in right there, which I should have done in the first place. This little tab right here, see? Yeah, so, well, they don't give you instructions on how to install these, so that's why I'm here, helping you guys out there in the real world. Okay, so see that goes right there. See, that goes right in there. Let's make sure this is nice and tight. Looks like it. And then now we're gonna take this heat plate off. Put that on this one. Okay, so now we're gonna take these two screws off to take this mount off. Just remember how it goes. These screws go here. And now we don't have this one anymore. Throw that away. Mount these ones here. Okay, so now we have that on here. And now we're going to go ahead and clean up everything down there with like just a wet paper towel. Get it nice and clean under there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mount this back in here. Same mounting screws on also. wobbly, but it'll actually start getting sturdy as you start putting everything back on. Okay. So now we're going to put back the heater vent, and we'll see if we can put this screw back in. That was the hard one. I'm going to be putting this screw in first here. Seems to be like a special screw because it's different from all the other ones. Probably like a heat resistant screw. It's black, a little bit longer than the other ones. Okay, so that one's on. I'm gonna have to align this screw here because it's a little bit hard. If you can see it there. It's right there. Work on that one for a little bit. And we're gonna use a little stubby screwdriver. That's pretty much all you can fit in there. I feel like Batman if I just reach my utility belt. Okay, so now we're gonna put these other 3 screws back in the barrel. Let's see. I think the best way to do this is to hold it in place. You might want to use a screwdriver. Put pressure against. Looks good there. Put this sensor back in on this side. Okay, so looks like everything's ready to put back on. Put your panel back on. Start gradually putting in your screws. quite a bit of these screws to put back in. Okay, so we're going to put this panel back on. Remember, it took a couple of screws on top. The drill. There's a couple back here. And you have 3 left, so you got this the panel up here, which is this one. Remember, it just slides right back on. Once you get these screws in, it should stay right in place. So now you have these screws here that they were actually kind of a little different from these ones here, as you can see. And then a green one. We're going to start putting this one together. Remember, it was color coded, so you got red with red, white with white, and then black with black. And of course you have this white one way over here by itself that goes with the green floating ground, so that'll put that together. Sometimes you can't even reach that one. Then you use a screwdriver. Okay, so that's that on that. All you gotta do is put the cover back on. There's the cover. Okay. I'm going to attach the hose back. This is your ventilation hose. Make sure your hose is nice and tight on there, because sometimes they just tend to pop off. got your ventilation hose hooked up. Make sure that everything's nice and tight. No problems with popping out and stuff. So as we're touching this hose, you probably say, what's the hose for on a dryer? Well, this is actually for the steam. This dryer actually has the feature where it adds steam to your clothes and you don't have to be ironing your clothes. And let's go ahead and plug in your power there. So we're pretty much almost ready to push this thing back. Okay. This actually goes back here to this Y adapter. Turn the water back on. Doesn't seem to have any leaks there. And well, moment of truth. If it blows up, I'm out of here. Seems to be working pretty good. I'll give it about 10 minutes and I'll check out to see if the dryer's hot. So it looks like everything's working fine. I just took out the close out of the dryer just now, and we ran it about 12 minutes, and yeah, it's working really good. So if you're one of those that likes to fix stuff by yourself, I hope this video was helpful for you, and good luck.